Okay, chat. Listen up. It's 3 a.m. I'm going to lay this all out for you here. First, I'm thinking in my head, man, Dress Down's so good. Second, I see a post on Twitter from the world champion saying Tarmogoyf is bad. Number one, fucking great tweet. Tarmogoyf bad. I can always get behind that. Two, they wanted to try Thing in the Ice. Also great. I'm down. I made a video in August. Couldn't have been in August. Sometime earlier this year. Thing in the Ice, Dress Down. And that deck was fucking horrible. But Thing in the Ice and Dress Down, not horrible. That was actually okay. So boom, I'm here, Thing in the Ice, Dress Down. What else can I do? Well, you know what's underplayed in Vintage? Murktide Regent. Murktide Regent, insane. Super fast clock. Crazy card. They want to ban it in Legacy. Now, they do want to ban any card printed after Innistrad that is powerful in Legacy. So maybe that's not a good metric to go by. But anyways, they want to ban it in Legacy. So I'm thinking, 4 Murktide Regents. How can we play 4 Murktide Regents, 4 Thing in the Ice? Mono blue. Perfect. Actually, someone, Marlon Moore, who used to play Mythic Society events, was actually fooling around with a mono blue Delver deck. So I took that list and started tuning it and playing the cards that I wanted to play. And I'm on 6 Delve spells. Not recommended, but let's make it work with 4 Thought Scour. I had 4 Consider in here. Now we're down to 3 Consider. All my cantrips, instant speed. 4, 8, 11, 12, 13 instant speed cantrips. We don't talk about Gataxian Probe. It doesn't exist. Highlights of the mana base. Many basic islands. Basic lands, broken. Golos, Ghost Quarter, hilarious. Basic lands, broken. And 5 strip mines. Well, they're not strip mines. I got 5 wastelands, which is great. Got a series of free counter magic in forces, Misdirection, Commandeer, and we also get to play Daze Gush and Mystic Sanctuary, which is a nice throwback to when I got mad at Mystic Sanctuary every game. So it's been a while since we've done that. So yeah. Sideboard, we got some Graveyard Hate, some Artifact Hate, some Combo Hate, some Hydroblasts, some Artifact Hate, a thing to bounce Leyline of the Void, and an Entrancing Melody, because I love stealing bugs, creatures, and killing them with it. Boom. That's the deck tag. That's all of it. Nothing left. Done. Stop recording. Okay, chat. Round 1. Because this is a Justin stream, we're probably playing against Doomsday. VertiX played Doomsday to a 3-3 finish in the Saturday challenge. So, but there's hope, chat. There's hope, because if any deck can beat Doomsday, it's the one with 2 Flusters, 6 Forces, a Misdirection, a Commandeer, and 4 Dress Down for Thassa's Oracle. So if we can't beat Doomsday with this, I fucking don't know what else to do. Let's begin. Perfect. Keep. Is Manadrine legal? Yes. Decent? No. It's a boomer card that has not aged incredibly well. Oh, it's PO or 8 cast. Okay, so it's not Doomsday. I actually kind of wanted it to be Doomsday. Oh, man. My opponent is being right back. How many players did we end up with? 46. Actually, we piled together another 12 right before the challenge started, so not bad. 46. Okay, so We have 1 card in our graveyard. With Lotus, we'll have 2 cards in our graveyard. Wait, can we just play a Murktide Regent? Just a 3/3 flyer. Land. 5. We could just play a Murktide Regent on turn 2. 3/3 flyer. Kind of want to if I draw a blue spell, because then I have Murktide Regent with double force backup. And then later on, if I draw Thought Scours, I can dig through time and make it huge. Exciting. Okay. Ooh, or a Thing in the Ice. Hmm. Thing in the Ice, hold open negation is probably better. I mean, you have to stall. You have to think about how half of my deck is cantrips. Playing more than 18 lands seems like suicide. I think the land count is correct. Ancestral Recall. No. It could be low. It could be low. We've got, I mean, we have like 17 blue producing things, right? And we also, you have to remember that you also have Black Lotus and Moxen. Saga, not exactly the best against Thing in the Ice. I am pretty far away from casting Murktide Regent and Thing in the Ice, but I need to draw some Thought Scours and Considers now, though. Or I can draw some Forces, you know? Those are fine, too. Not great against Saga, but... So my opponent's going to get the turn on their Opal. And also up their Academy. I need to draw some spells, but... This is what happens when you cut your 4th Consider. So the question is, would I have been better off in this game just casting a Murktide Regent on turn 2 instead of playing my Thing in the Ices? Kind of seems like it. Because I'm not really flipping these in the near future. Well, I guess I can flip them pretty fast if I like double counter, draw Thought Scour, right? And that just answers all the construct tokens, so it's not the end of the world. I really need cantrips, though. How close am I to Murktide Regent? I'm 1 away. I don't think this is going to be fast enough. I just haven't drawn any of my cantrips. Like a Gush would be insane. Gush would be quite good. I think I'm just going to take this. All right, fetch land lets me dig through time. Dress down. That's, I guess, also fucking great. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, dress down, sure. I think I want to upkeep a dress down. Forcing my dress down. Forcing your force. I forgot that I also have dress down to answer Saga tokens. Our deck should be sick, dude. I don't know. I'm pretty hype about our deck. I guess if they have another counterspell here, it's pretty bad because I won't have any follow-ups, but... Dress down? Oh my god, it's so good. All right, I don't really want to force anything here, so hopefully they don't go like Tinker with Flusterstorm back up, but turned off Mox Opal. So our best draw is got to be like blue card, so we can go Murktide Force, right? Oh, Mox Opal is turned back on. Oh my god, they have so many Mox in. Guess they brainstormed. This is demonic for PO. I guess it could be demonic for Tinker with Tinker as well. So this ends up pretty bad for me, unless I draw cantrip, I guess. All right, my opponent has just... Oh, wow, they have Force Tinker. What? All right, well. Draw 4. My opponent had a great hand, huh? Double Force, all Moxen, PO, Tinker, Demonic. I mean, we still have, like, cantrip draws. They got Lattice, so we do need to draw... We need to flip these thing in the ice this turn. Unfortunately, I didn't get the second counter off of Thing in the Ice because of Dress Down. Okay, I mean, I have like sick draws like Ancestral and Gush. I sure hope I don't get Flusterstormed. Unfortunately, if I had a cantrip and a time walk, I just have lethal. All right, well, I have to draw. I have to draw an instant or sorcery that I can cast. I guess I can draw a blue card and force the Lattice as well. Come on, baby, please. I have 7 1-drop cantrips in my deck that are not the restricted ones. I'm so unlucky, man. What can I say, chat? I'm just not meant to win matches of Vintage anymore. It turns out the Dress Down got me pretty good here. I know. If I had a blue card, then even if my force got countered, I would still have the onboard advantage. It's so frustrating. I think losing that game is super unlucky. All right, well, I have a Chalice, and I have Null Rods, and I have Flusterstorms. So, I mean, this is a great matchup. This has got to be one of the best matchups I have in the entire format, so. No, all my cards are colorless. Lattice turns all cards colorless, so I cannot cast Force of Will. Daze, Misdirection, Commandeer. Wasteland. It's probably still correct to keep Wastelands. Thing in the ice. It's kind of just sad, I think. I don't know. It looked like a very easily winnable game. I don't think we need too many threats, to be honest. PO. Just need to stop them from doing their thing. Alright, I mean, like, this is a deck that's tailor-made to beat PO, so... I just don't seem to have cantrips, huh? I mean, yeah, basically PO has no good matchups, so... True, true. Needle is terrible versus PO. I don't think time walking is good here. There's no reason to pull any triggers. Next turn, if I don't hit a land drop, though, we will gush. Guess we could always end step gush, too. That might even be better. Patience, Justin. Patience. This turns on your opal, but yeah. This is fine because I can always stop a saga with my wastelands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hardcast Gush end of turn. And then if this does resolves, then I can Mystic Sanctuary it. Or if it doesn't resolve, I can still Mystic Sanctuary it. So they do this. I get their Flusterstorm. And then on my next turn, I just get it back. And then I go Gush Time Walk. Yeah, this game's fucking over. I want to leave Time Walk in my yard. I want to leave Gush in my yard, I think. I think I should cycle this dress down. Oh, it's too late now. Maybe I'll just leave it for a force. Oh. Yeah, I mean it's 3 a.m. Sometimes sometimes you leave Time Walk, sometimes you leave Gush. But it's probably fine because now I can dress down into my Time Walk. That buffs fucking Murktide Regent? Oh, they have another fluster. Alright, well, that's fine. I wanted to leave Gush in my yard, chat. But, well, I don't know. They're both good. Okay, so I still have Flusterstorm and Negation up, so I don't feel too bad. And then next turn I can start hitting. I don't know how many lands I want to hit, because I need to be able to hit Saga. But my opponent's almost dead, so. Yeah, Sanctuary is an extremely overpowered magic card. That is a true statement. This is a PO. Narset. I don't really care about Narset at this point. I think we could still lose this, but it looks good for us. They can't fetch, actually. So that's nice. I have to kill this Saga. Oh, I guess I have to beat... I guess I lose to... Key Fluster? Nope, the key is exiled forever. Okay, now I don't even have to hit the Saga. So this is probably getting a PO. Is it better to just hit this with the Fluster? Hit this with a Fluster, Wasteland, Strip Mine 4. Don't hit this with a Fluster, Wasteland, Strip Mine 4. I don't think I can just let it resolve, because I should be able to take them off 2 lands, and I should be able to Fluster a PO anyways. I guess I can't Fluster an Ancestral. Because it makes colorless mana. I don't understand the question. Strip Mine makes colorless mana, not blue mana. So I used it to make colorless mana, because I don't want to Strip Mine on their turn anyways. I might actually hit this Narset. Does that make sense? Or no, it doesn't make sense. I just need to live for 1 turn. If they PO, it's pretty bad for me, right? I can just cantrip on their turn. I think we just go face because they fetched. Like, strip mining them on their turn doesn't actually accomplish you anything, so... It's nice that we don't have to worry about getting keyed here. You don't want to scour main phase against Narset, chat. Alright, well, there was a Flusterstorm on the top of my library. They can hit PO off of Narset. Why am I not worried about key? Because I negated it? It's in exile. Should be decent here now. I did run out of action, though. They found a Time Walk. Urkel's Recall, target themselves, makes them a mana. Right? I chose not to kill her because I would clock in 2 turns. And they had a top anyways to look for a PO. So I felt that it was better to just attack. All right. I mean, this deck, like I said, this deck feels like should be fairly good against PO. So I have all the tools besides Pyroblast. I even have Null Rod. This is a hand, isn't it? Yeah, sure. For sure. Card could have gotten a key, but that costs 6 total mana, so should be fine against that. This has no force. And I have, what, 6 forces in my deck? It's probably just still a keep, though. Yes. That is exactly what Entrancing Melody is. Astute observation. Ooh, the upkeep Spinnerino. I like that we have a consider to end step here. They're gonna fetch and fucking Ancestral. Fantastic. Yeah, you got it, homie. I still don't feel terrible about our position. We have 2 Flusterstorms and a Wasteland, so we have Saga matched, and we have 2 spells matched. And we have, next turn, we have like Gush, Murktide, Time Walk. Well, maybe not all of those at the same time, but... Alright, maybe our Flusterstorms aren't going to do it. I think I'm going to end step this Brainstorm. Not the most powerful play, but I think I just need to get cards. Just need to see what they have. Force PO Fatal Push. Why didn't they PO? I don't understand. I cut most of my things, and I just wanted cards in my yard for my Regent. Alright, so I can Time Walk here, and if they PO in response, I can Gush and then Flusterstorm their PO. No, they just did nothing. I have no idea why they didn't PO. They have perfectly reasonable opportunities to PO here. Interesting plays. Very interesting plays. How do I just draw force? Is this a fluster? What is this? Another blue card to force? If this gets forced, I don't give a shit. They gonna hard cast force? Why is there a fatal push in their deck? Kills Thing in the Ice? I mean, I can just fluster this, right? Hmm. The problem is if I fluster this, I kind of have to draw force. That's not bad though. Oh, but then I can't play Wasteland? I don't think I care about Wasteland at this point. I have to draw a Force of Will with this line. Oh wait, no I don't. I could... They tap their Mana Vault. Maybe I just don't end up playing Regent this turn? I can just Wasteland and hold open Fluster. I forgot they tapped this Mana Vault. I don't think my opponent played this very well. Apologies to Vertex. They don't know our hand, and we do know their hand, so it's kind of like we're cheating. But I feel that if my opponent had taken the opportunity to PO when there was... Well, I don't know what the card they drew off of top was. What was the card they drew off of top? Ah. I think I'm going to gush now. Maybe I don't have to. Their last two cards are Scalding Tar and Fatal Push, and they're drawing into Sensei's Divining Top. So if I can just Wasteland their Saga, and then maybe even find an answer for top. I think I am going to fluster this, but I think there's not a huge downside to gushing right now. Like, I'm not going to end up playing Murktide this turn. We are going to have a lot of extra cards, so maybe that's a downside to gushing here. Is it even worth fighting over? Well, the thing is, the flusters don't get too much better than this. And I want to draw Force of Will, so yeah, I think Ancestral is worth fighting over. I want to draw Force of Will this turn. Wow. All right. How many islands do I have left? I have one. I haven't drawn any forces, which is quite bad for me now. They do only have a couple mana though, so. So I have another Saga covered. The only thing I don't really have covered right now is Ancestral. Okay, I'm just gonna leave open all my mana. They get 6 looks here. Alright, so they only have one card we don't know about. We have PO covered. We don't have Tinker covered. Well, we have Tinker covered with Consider Flusterstorm. All right, I'm not allowed to cast Dig Through Time here in case they have PO. So I'm just going to cast Consider. Yeah. No, I'm going to just draw that. I think I'm just going to fetch my last island. 1 island, 2 islands, 3 islands, 4 islands. Oh, I have Sanctuary still. I guess I shouldn't fetch. I think I can just hold open Fluster Negation. Should be good enough. And this is a 2-turn clock. I think we should be in a great spot now. Maybe that Gush was bad. So if they follow this up with Flusterstorm, it's fine. Actually, Dig Through Time makes this lethal. Yeah, I actually have a 1-turn lethal Regent. Wow, what a game. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I played this ideally, but I really like this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I want to use the Mystic first. Take 13. Holy shit. Wow. Woo. That was fun. That was really sweet. Round 2, Vintage Challenge. We're against Tuesday / Alet. Perpetual Sunday morning top 8er. What do we got? Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to keep her this one. I actually have no idea what they're playing. This should be interesting. Usually Tuesday comes with some interesting brews as well. It just looks like 8 cast. This Emery is definitely worth forcing. I think I'm down to just get rid of this Dig Through Time. If they force back, that's not a big deal. I'm just going to force again. This time pitching Brainstorm. They have 1 card in hand. I now have 4 cards in hand. If I can get this Narset down before creatures, we should be greatly favored here. Unless they just, time vault me. Yeah, the problem is if they have an Emery, I also can't counter time vault, so. You just have to counter the Emery and live with it. Wobble. Thoughtcast, it's a good one. Saga, that stops my Narset pretty well. They saw Narset from my hand. I think I'm still playing Narset this turn before they have an attacker. I could actually cast Murktide as a 6/6. I think I want to force though. Commandeer. I'm just gonna take force. Next turn we'll play a Murktide. We'll have force backup. We could even gush first. We can't actually protect our Narset from like Saga Key, but that's not too big a deal. Thought Monitor. Well, Narset stops this, so it's just a Windrake. It does mean they can attack this Narset and kill it, and but I could just choose not to activate. I don't think I'm going to choose not to activate. I think I'm going to activate and make them use Manifold Key to kill it. Now the question is, are we supposed to gush? The downside to gush is we're pretty close to... Tuesday is explaining to me in chat the reason they played the Windrake instead of making a Saga token is because if I drew Dress Down, then I would be able to keep my Narset alive, which is fair. I'm trying to figure out if I want to gush here. Last time I cast gush, it was a mistake. So I'm trying to debate whether I should play this gush now. I think I'm supposed to cast this gush. Maybe not. Well, it picks up my lands is the reason. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. It just is the best possible outcome, right? The only problem with this is I don't get to have days up. So I think I'm supposed to leave nothing in my yard. Just make the biggest thing possible. This deck is fucking sick. Okay, so they can kill my Narset here if they choose to use all their mana. And then I'm just going to start swinging back at them. Okay, we're good here. Okay, so Chalice, Null Rod. Hey Slasher, how many Flusterstorms should I play against 8 cast. How many steel sabotages? How many commandeers? Probably not too many commandeers. Or misdirection. Like, is negation good versus you? I just don't understand what cards are actually good versus... I don't really understand what cards are actually good versus 8 cast, because I feel like it's different. Like, obviously you want to be able to beat Tinker. But, like, a lot of their cards that are good are creatures, like Thought Monitor, Emery. Not exactly Urza. And they play 4 Fluster, 4 Thoughtcast. So I'm not actually sure what the best way to play this is. This Daze looks pretty bad. I think I'm definitely sure that I want Chalice and Null Rod. I think Negation's still good. I just don't know about more Flusters and more Steel Sabotages, or some Steel Sabotages. I actually think Thing in the Ice is probably quite good against my opponent, and so is Dress Down, so I'm going to leave all of those in. So maybe it's just I don't bring in any of these, and I bring in just the heavy hitters. I could see that being true. Another Ancestral Sapphire hand? We are running quite hot tonight. Alright, they have their own Ancestral. I think I'm still supposed to just strip this Ancestral on their upkeep. Drew a misstep and no forces is probably a misstep after Ancestral and no forces is not the ideal, but it's nice that we can actually go hold everything up, end of turn, Dress Down, Thing in the Ice. I'm not sure we're gonna win this game though. Thoughtcast is one of the scariest decks to have 9 cards in hand, because they can just do like artifact, 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 and I have no counter spells right now, so I'm a little scared, to be perfectly honest. Like, I might actually have to flip a Wasteland next turn, or I might be too far behind. Yeah, this could be hard to win for me. I don't have any forces. This is exactly what I was worried about when Slasher said that I might not have a good 8 cast matchup. These kind of hands where they have Ancestral into just like pure gasoline, it's quite hard to beat. Definitely a free misstep here though. Alright, they ended up not having super high levels of gasoline, so I do think I'm supposed to Wasteland. Keeping them off of too many artifact lands seems good, even though I lose my ability to deal with Saga, but that's fine because I have Dress Down Thing in the Ice. I don't care too much about Saga. Possible I should have Thought Scoured and tried to find a force for that Narset. I can still draw though because it's just once per on my turn. I lost my Murktide region off of that. Found a force. Just gonna hold open, force, stress down, dig. I think I'm gonna lose this game. I'm pretty far behind. My opponent being on the play with Ancestral does feel like it's probably too much, even though we had an insane hand of our own with Strip Mine Ancestral. God, Karn has got to be the best card in their deck. I didn't even know that they played a Karn. Maybe it's not like first me, it's not the best card in their deck, but I think I just force pitch Dress Down. Maybe Thing in the Ice is a better pitch. If this gets flustered, we can dig. I really just don't want them to have access to a Karn here. Doesn't sound good for me. No, do we get... I mean, they have 4 flusters in their deck. We could easily have 2 flusters here. My stomach hurts really bad. Negation Murktide. One, two, three. I have to kill this Narset to cruise. I mean, they have infinite mana here. They can do whatever they want. A pretty close game. I guess we both resolved Ancestral. Made it a really high power game though. Pretty interesting. Four vintage streamers at 3 a.m. It's pretty good. Am I still here? Hello? Chat? What the fuck happened? Moto crash? That's... Oh my god, Moto is currently offline. Oh no, why did I wake up at 3 a.m.? Moto's down. Man, I'm gonna be really pissed if this doesn't come back online. Because I woke up early and I streamed and my deck is fucking awesome, and I really wanted to play. Moto's up for you? Oh god. Oh, I'm back. Alright, so they found an Urza, which is quite good here. One, two, three, four, five. They can spin almost twice here. Maybe twice here. Pretty good. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't think we're winning this game. I might just have to go for the Murktide kill and hope they don't have anything. Karn Scion? Oh my lord. I guess we have to draw Dress Down. Wow. This is fucking brutal. They could have spun if they wanted to, which means they're probably just holding open force. I did draw Dress Down. Okay, so if I attack Narset, I'm so far from cruising. Maybe I'm just supposed to attack them and then just hope my Dress Down resolves on their upkeep. If I cast on their upkeep, they do get some spins. They also have Thought Monitor to block. Well, if I attack Narset and they block with Thought Monitor, then they don't have force. And this threatens, like, me not attacking their life total is a threat. So they'll probably block. And so now they don't have force. So I'm going to cast Narset. I'm going to miss out on my draw card just to resolve this Dress Down this turn, I think. But I am going to do it at my end step so that the Urza is turned off for their turn. Okay, I mean, that was not the worst thing that could have ever happened. You can have a Hercules Recall. Surprised they have a Hercules Recall in their deck, just for my Null Rod, maybe? Dress Down is fucking so good. This card is so good. I have 5 cards here, 6 cards. Okay, I still can't cruise. So... not yet. Not yet. Not yet. At some point we do, though. I guess we do have to do that now, so they can't find it. The longer this game goes, the worse it is for me, though. What is this? Is this like a repeal for 9? Alright, Karn down. Pass. So they actually can't ever get their time vault now, right? Because both of their Karns are exiled. So we don't have to worry about vault key for this game. That's kind of nasty. Seagate restoration for 3? Okay. Why not? That's bad. This is a great game of Magic, honestly. Honest to God, this game of Magic has been fucking awesome. It's been a fucking great game, so I'm happy. That's fine. I'm okay with this. Obviously they get another construct, but I have a dress down, so another Murky Boy. I can't actually cast another Murky Boy right now. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm one short of casting another Murky Boy. That would be so good. I'm just gonna not play around Force of Will because I don't think I'll win if they have Force. So I'm just going to let them activate everything and then dress them down. All right, another two tokens are gone. Obviously, they can do it again on their turn, but I think it was better than giving them like infinite mana to spin with. And I can win next turn if I can exile. I probably can't exile 4 spells. So maybe this was a bad play, and I should have waited. They don't have any spins this turn though. Well, they didn't make a token. Wow, they didn't make a token. That's so good for me. Oh, the token will be dead because I have a dress down in play. This card is broken. This card is broken. How is no one else playing this? This card is so good. Oh, chat. Should I just attack them though? I should just attack them though, right? I shouldn't attack Narset. We can play Murktide for 3, yeah, but it's only 3. 3 is such a bad number. We could cast Gush and exile it to Murktide. Just to draw, just to get an extra counter? Extra 2 counters? I think I'm attacking them. I don't have lethal next turn if they force my Murktide Regent. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm wondering why they're not spinning to try to hit a force. Is that not good? Mystic only hits instant and sorceries. Then I also, if I Mystic my 1 card in my yard, I wouldn't be able to cast Murktide Regent. I also. The card I can't beat here is like Time Walk. Oh, they already used Time Walk. Never mind. If we win this game, it's so absurd, right? Like, they have infinite mana. I feel like they should be doing some spinning. All right, some spinning. What an amazing game of Magic, even if we lose. Even if we lost this game, I'm not even upset because this has just been a crazy game. They have 4 Thought Monitors in their deck to block Murktide Regent. All right, how many left? How many Thought Monitors they have left? They have 3 more Thought Monitors in their like 10 cards. They were just whiffing though. What if they just miss and they just die to flyers? It kind of feels like that's where we're at. Could they have 3 Thought Monitors in their bottom 16 cards? Mana Crypt? They must be desperate now. They must just not have any Thought Monitors. Spin for Thought Monitor? 3 and 16? They missed. They missed. They missed. How could they miss? I'm just in awe of this game of Magic the Gathering. What an amazing game. Ayla is historically quite unlucky, so it is on brand. When they come back in chat, yeah, we gotta give them condolences. Wow. What an amazing game though. That was probably one of the more interesting matches of Vintage I played in a very long time. All right, here we are, chat. Round 3, Vintage Challenge. We're playing against INF. INF is typically a Bug player, but they did cash a tournament with Doomsday last week. They played Bug to an 0-2 drop in Saturday's event. Our hand has Force, Consider, Dress Down. Looks good. Okay, so bug maybe? I guess it could still be Doomsday. We don't have a great hand versus Doomsday, just a force. But if we can live to 2 mana, we could have Dress Down. Okay, it looks like it's going to be maybe 4-color Deathrite then? 4-color Deathrite Shaman. I don't think we're at liberty to counter this Ragavan. With them having 3 mana. So it is all red mana. What's the worst that could happen? Ren and 6? Ren and 6 sounds very bad for me. Let me just take a quick look at Dazai's deck. I assume that this is just a copy of the Yuta deck. So there could be follow-up, iteration, or Ren and 6, or Pyroblast, or Dak Fade-In. Okay, well, I'm going to let this resolve then. Okay, so it's not that. It's their own deck, because there's now a Dread Horde. I will force a Dread Horde. They have fucking counter magic backup? Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be one of your better turn ones. 1 card in hand, they've got Monkey Dread Horde. Hopefully their last card isn't Ancestral or Preordain. I can blank these for 1 turn with Dress Down. Okay, they didn't have a cantrip. That's really lucky for us. That way it's only going to be a Ragavan hit. We still don't really want a Ragavan hit, but... Force of Will. Fair. Okay, so it's Jeskai. Alright, I'm going to definitely cast Consider this turn. Wow. That is probably really good for us, right? So next turn we dress them down at the end step. And then we go Thing, and when we have Force, we flip. Maybe I'm just supposed to play Thing right now. Because I can't dress down and stop the Ragavan. It's probably still fine. So I guess it's pretty... Yeah, this seems fine. I think it's correct to go for the Thing combo. Dig Through Time. Wow. They have 1 short on Dig Through Time right now. All right. Misdirection, nice. Cool. All right, Thing in the Ice comes into play with no counters because of Dress Down, and then on the next turn, when I cast an instant sorcery, I will flip. The best thing would have been if I found like another Thought Scour or Consider to make sure it flipped. But this is still fine. So if they play any spell pre-combat, I can flip this Thing in the Ice. If they... Oh, they're going to Pyroblast, right? I guess it's fine, right? We just force it. Or we just misdirect it. I didn't actually think about this that hard. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Thing in the Ice combo because they had a Pyroblast in their yard. Maybe this was not a great play. Hard cast negation. Alright, I feel like I'm priced into the line I chose here. Tempo wise. I'm gonna counter the negation because it puts more cards into my yard. Power Blast your Tundra. Alright, so they have a monkey and one unknown after this. I do lose to another Pyroblast. For what it's worth. I kind of want them to ponder, dash a monkey, go to combat, and then dress them both down. They chose not to shuffle. Like, I can't beat a Swords or a Pyroblast right now. Monkey, monkey, monkey. Oh, it's so bad for me. It's so bad for me that they drew a Pyroblast here. Basically, nightmare scenario. I guess we could dress down into a force. A negation. We could dress down into a negation. We could dress down into a misstep. Would be fine for this turn. Stops them from pondering this turn. All right. Well, we got to draw some more top decks again. We do have lots of pretty good top decks, so. Yeah, we finally found our Pyroblast matchup here, and I'm not happy to see it. It doesn't let them flashback Pyro because the Dreadhorde had been dressed down. So. It's okay. We've all been forgetting our dress downs today. So I just took them. I took them off red, so they couldn't monkey me this turn. I might just Flusterstorm this Ponder. No, I won't, because they have 2 mana. Shadow? What shadow? Death Shadow? In my mono blue deck? They chose not to shuffle again on Ponder. I guess they found a red source. Yeah, this looks like a really hard game to win because of the second Pyroblast draw. Oh, Shadow of Doubt. Just a very low impact card. Yeah, unfortunately, my opponent drawing 2 Pyroblasts with their Dreadhorde Arcanist turn 1 draw is like pretty hard for my mono blue deck to beat. Which is what we said in the beginning of the tournament. We said mono Pyroblast deck would probably be the hardest for us, especially Jeskai. Well, you don't need a UC to play Shadow of Doubt. It's blue, right? Thought Scour. That's pretty good for them. Maybe I just made a huge misplay when I went for Thing in the Ice combo, and I should have just gone for like Murktides. I feel like it's possible I just played this game poorly. So the problem is I have a Murktide, but they just have another Pyroblast. Their fourth Pyroblast of the game, right? Well, Dreadhorde used to be a very strong card in Vintage. It recently hasn't been very good because the Jeskai deck itself hasn't been very good. I'm not exactly sure how I get out of this game, to be perfectly honest. I think I'm just supposed to play this, though. Maybe I'm not supposed to make it super big because I know it's going to die. Just make it slightly big. I mean, if they play a bunch of spells for some reason before attacking. Yeah. I just don't think my deck can beat four Pyroblasts cast in a single game. Doesn't really feel like I have the tools to do that. Like, my opponent's draw wasn't even like, it was very good, right? Black Lotus, Dreadhorde, Ragavan is obviously a great turn one with counter backup, but they didn't even have like a follow-up cantrip, so it wasn't the end of the world. I mean, we have a Hydroblast. Maybe we need more Hydroblasts. I don't think so, because we're playing 4 Thought Scour, 3 Consider. I haven't had too many problems recently on casting Delve. I think I'm just going to swap the Commandeer for a Hydroblast and play as is. I could move in more Flusters, but I guess Fluster might be better than Force. I don't really know how much like pitch spells I actually really want to have in this matchup. I'm not convinced I want that many. I don't think Force is better than Misdirection because my opponent is playing Swords to Plowshares and Ancestral. So I think I would rather have a Misdirection. And I think Negation's better than Force of Will because it's actually castable. I want Daze on the play. I'm gonna run like this. I don't think you need to counter a Monkey, though you kind of need to counter an Arcanist. Maybe we'll just keep Forces, I guess. They don't have like that many Monkeys and Arcanists. They have like 4 or 5 cards total. Should we Entrancing Melody them? That's kind of greedy, but it kind of sounds fun to me. Interesting. Let's try this. Well, those don't have any lands. Maybe the key is I just want more Hydroblasts, really. Preordain, Force, Cruise, Preordain. 3 Preordains, Volcanic, Tarn, Cruise. Okay. It's a good hand versus us, because our deck doesn't really do anything. If they keep a card on top, do we Thought Scour them? 1 top, 1 bottom. Lost our Ancestral. Man, we could have played just turn 2 Murktide. Would have got forced, but... This is going pretty badly, but I kind of expected it to, so... I think if they preordain and keep top on this one, I probably will Thought Scour hit them. Bottom, okay. I mean, they're just gonna end up cruising and winning this game. Tase. Oh, I got rid of Misdirection Gush. I just want to hit a land. Oh my god. Oh my god, if I hit a land... If I hit a land, a blue land, I can Murktide if Days back up for their force. Please? Okay. Fair enough. I don't think it's a terrible draw. I really don't think I can let this resolve. I don't really want to bounce my island. Maybe I just can't beat Dreadhorde Arcanist, and maybe I need to... Like, if my opponent... I guess I have a Wasteland here. I still just need to draw blue land. Well, yeah, I just need to draw blue land. That's a pretty good draw. I kind of wish I had cast it in my main phase, but... Does my opponent have enough to dig here, or cruise here? They almost have enough to cruise here. I think upkeep is worse than doing it on my end step. So they can actually cruise here if they want. It's really bad for me. They do lose all their preordains for their Dreadhorde, though. Or maybe not all of them. Maybe they can leave one. Lavinia? Oh my god, what a nightmare. Yeah, alright, well, this didn't really work out for the home team here. This matchup is gotta be the worst that we can... Lavinia, Jeskai, and Dredge, I assume, are the two worst matchups for our deck. Good god. I guess we just fucking lose. Took us way too long to find a fetch land. And I can't play my Lotus. What a fucking nightmare. I'm just gonna lose to Treasure Cruise here. No matter what I do. I'm just gonna lose to Treasure Cruise. This matchup's so sad. Nope. This was the worst possible scenario. Maybe I do need dismembers. I thought we would be decent against creatures with Thing in the Ice and Dress Down. I don't think there's anything I can draw. I don't think I have any outs. I mean, that is an out. Well, bring back... Oh man, what about Entrancing Melody on Lavinia? So my opponent just gets to flashback Preordain and then cast Treasure Cruise and I lose. But there's just, I mean, I don't have counterplay. What can I say? I don't really feel like I played this game poorly. I just feel like I needed to draw fetch land on any of the first 2 turns where I needed a fetch land. Because if I could have deployed a Murktide Regent with Mental Misstep backup, that would have been probably reasonable. Maybe not, because they had an Arcanist. Yeah. They have Daze. Now I have to draw a land to beat Daze. Okay. I also don't draw a card for this. Alright, well. I've got Murktide into Dig, but my Dig gets Daze, I guess. Alright, sure. Why not? I don't really think Negation is a card you should keep in against me. Oh well. That matchup seems atrocious. Maybe we do need dismembers. How is Jeskai in the 2-0 bracket? That's not good for me. Alright. Rip. Alright, here we are. Round 4, Vintage Challenge. We finally found Doomsday. We've been waiting all night for the Doomsday matchup. Here's our chance to get revenge. So this is a streamer battle. Eric is definitely streaming this event. I feel like if there's any deck I've ever played that has a chance against Doomsday, it's got to be this one. We've got multiple forces, dress downs, flusters, can play at instant speed, huge threats. It's got to be this one. So If Doomsday kills us on turn 1 here, I'll be sad. All right, I have a force. I have an ancestral. This is it. This is it. Even Wasteland is pretty decent against Doomsday. They typically don't play a swamp. They typically play an island. They have a misstep. All right, yeah. All right, you got me. You got me. Shit, dude. Okay. Consider. I think I'm gonna play Thing in the Ice. It's a little rough, but I think I should get a threat down, and then I'll just play at instant speed for the rest of the game. Imagine if they cast their own Ancestral here. How broken would that be? They fetched Underground Sea anyways. I guess that means I'm dead. Vamp? Oh, if only I could Thought Scour it. All right. Turn 2 Doomsday with backup. So if I let this Doomsday resolve, they take 8 and they go to 7. I have Wasteland and Force. I think I'm just supposed to force it. I guess they can have Daze or Fluster or something. They have Fluster. Okay, so if they have Street Wraith or Gush, they win. It's as simple as that. So they have to build an ancestral pile because they have to beat Wasteland. If they don't kill us right away, they have to build an ancestral pile. So what are our best draws? Flusterstorm is incredible. Thought Scour is not bad. Dress Down is not bad. They have a Street Wraith. They have a Street Wraith. Oh, they don't have a Street Wraith. Whew. I don't feel like counting. So they didn't go for a Gush pile because they didn't have a Street Wraith. There is a Street Wraith in their pile. Unless they have a mismatching Street Wraith. They don't. So their pile is Ancestral, Lotus, Oracle. 1 Oracle, Ancestral, Lotus. Oh no, it's up here. No, not. Okay, I mean, I kind of have to draw a counter spell. Or a Thought Scour. Or how about a Dress Down? I probably get forced on a Dress Down, right? Force. Yeah, they put 2 forces in their pile. No, 1 force in their pile. So I could respond to Ancestral. with a dress down. No, it's not Fluster. They're gonna go for an Ancestral pile. I guess we should fucking map this out. Thanks for the support, Joe. Force of Will, Lotus, Oracle. Ancestral. You guys can't see, so that's not helping you, is it? Two other cards. Four Flusters in the main? One, two Flusters? Aw. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm supposed to play this dress down. When I'm supposed to play this dress down. I guess in response to Ancestral buys me a turn, in which case I might be able to flip my thing in the ice. No. They have Ancestral into Lotus, so Wasteland doesn't do anything. Because there's a Force of Will in their pile, unless it's the last card, I can't wait on this dress down. So I'm just going to cast it now to buy me a turn. Oh. Well, if their last card isn't Fluster, then this buys me a lot of turns, doesn't it? Okay. I did not get my counter, though. Do I want to Wasteland now? What would I not want to Wasteland? What's a reason I wouldn't want to Wasteland now? Well, I guess if they had Fluster, they would have already used it, so it can't be Fluster, so I should be fine. Drawing. Oh. Okay. That doesn't do anything though, right? I need to flip this thing. Island. No. Land. Maybe I'm supposed to bin that island. Now a cantrip wins me the game though, right? Cantrip wins the game. I'm just gonna lose to Oracle. Okay. Well, maybe I misplayed this. Maybe they'll wait for their fluster or their force or something. No. Oh, I'm so sad. I don't think I was supposed to bin the island. Maybe I was. I can't beat Doomsday. I wouldn't have done it either. Kind of needed Thought Scour. I think I liked the way I played it. I think I liked the way I played it. I had so many outers. Just any spell, really, right? Any instant or sorcery. I think Thing is pretty bad. I don't think that's necessary. Pretty off of Thing here. Just want to play Dress Down Control with Murktide Regent. Did I play that wrong, chat? Did I miss something? I don't really feel like I did. I feel like I played that correctly. I don't think I'm supposed to cast Merchant Scroll here. It doesn't really help me. I want to get Ancestral. I want to hold open Force and Fluster. Okay. So if I play Merchant Scroll and get flustered, I don't think our deck is allowed to play Chalice on one. Maybe. I don't know. I can't imagine that our deck can play Chalice on one when like half of our deck costs one. I think if this gets countered, it's fine. If it doesn't, it's fine. Huh. Why do I not feel like I'm in a good spot here? Why does my opponent have a thing in the ice? Okay, sure. Maybe we could have scrolled on turn one. Um, the worst thing that could come from this is my opponent has a necro. I don't think you're supposed to play around necro. Thing's kind of good against my Murktide Regent, though, huh? All right, I think I'm in a good spot now. I'm gonna leave Ancestral in case I get Mystic Sanctuary, and this is a 3-turn clock. Not digging? No, putting a clock in play for sure. Wow, they're just gonna go Dark Ritual, Doomsday, flip thing in the ice. I mean, I don't think they have that much action, but apparently they have that much action, so yeah, I guess maybe we're just lose. That's hilarious. Like, what does digging do for me though? Really does nothing. I have no answers to this. Yeah, I guess this is just a misplay. I'm just supposed to hold open my spells. Whatever, man. I can't beat Doomsday, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess playing a Regent here is fucking terrible, because at least I could maybe play a Regent after the flip and then make it big enough, but now I'm just fucked. Fucking hell, like, I don't know. This one, obviously, maybe I made a misplay, but I didn't think I was getting Thing in the Iced. I don't think I would have sideboarded differently, so I don't think it really matters. What a fucking nightmare. I'm just never ever going to beat Doomsday. It's either it's either I fuck up or they turn one kill me. Why would we force the dig? I would never force that dig. Give me a good reason to force that dig. Yeah, I come up way farther ahead if I force that. What are you talking about? That was so much better for me. All right, I need to hit oh my god. Forcing dig there is horrible. Forcing dig there is terrible. It's just not good. All right, I needed to draw a cantrip. Multiple cantrips. I did not, so this could be bad. Dig Through Time is not double tutor. Dig Through Time is look at your top 7. All right, I need a cantrip. Fucking this stupid fucking game. All right. Oh, I punted this game pretty badly by playing Murktide Regent when I should have just held open Force, let them flip, and then played a Regent post Force. So that's not bad for me. Them casting Doomsday is the only way I win this game. I need them to cast Doomsday so that they lose half their life total. I play a Regent and I attack and kill them. I want them to cast Doomsday. What are you guys talking about? No, the misplay here was I played Regent before Awaken Horror flipping because I didn't think my opponent had 2 spells remaining because they had 2 cards after Doomsday, which was a mistake. I didn't have other spells to play. I don't think I was supposed to cast Dig because that would... maybe I was supposed to cast Dig. Maybe I was just supposed to cast Dig. It's okay. I punted the game. It's fine. Exclamation mark F6. Can't be Doomsday. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I can't believe I lost a thing in the ice. I'm not going to lie to you. Out of Doomsday. I literally don't think I can build a better deck versus Doomsday unless I played 4 Archive Traps main, so... But no one can protect me from myself, so... Okay, here we are, round 5, Vintage Challenge. We got a win out. Unfortunately, we are up against Senpai Blank, who is the Pyroblast / Jeskai Master. Been working on different Blue Moon variants recently. In between rounds, we went over the Doomsday matches, and it's pretty clear that in game 1, I played pretty well, but didn't draw the right cards, and then game 2, I played egregiously bad, not casting Merchant Scroll on turn 1, just didn't reevaluate that I had a Chalice in play. And so hopefully we can pull it together and try to play a little bit better in this round. I don't know why I thought I could pull it together in this round. Never mind. It's okay. This is an instant speed cantrip. So we actually built our deck to play around Narset completely with our 7 instant speed cantrips. Wait, did they just miss? All right, they missed on Narset. That's always good. And they shuffled off Ponder. Okay, maybe we are fine. Maybe we're fine. Well, god damn it. Yeah. I'm gonna Wasteland for sure if they're gonna shuffle on Ponder and miss on Narset. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to cast Consider now. But... All right, this time they found a Dress Down, and they do have an island. Always play my fetch land. Okay. That's pretty good. If we can get a Murktide region in play next turn with Flusterstorm back... Oh god, they're on Jeskai again. Okay. I think I am just supposed to fluster this. I think it's more important that they don't get an Ancestral Recall. All right, so now we can play a Murktide. Oh, we drew Force. All right, maybe we're good. Maybe I was too... Maybe I was too negative. Do I play removal? Nah, we don't do that here. I have some conditional removal in Dress Down and Thing in the Ice. I mean, if this Murktide can connect with this Narset and unlock our Ancestral, I think we're in great shape. Oh, did I misplay here? And now they have Swords with Fluster back up? All right, never mind, chat. I am just fucking so bad. Yeah, yep. All right. The minute I cast Consider, I was like, oh, I made a huge mistake. The minute I cast Consider, the second I cast Consider, I'm like, I made a huge mistake. Fuck. I'm so bad. I'm just playing terribly. I'm just playing awful. They go Flusterstorm Swords into Ethereal. I don't know, man. I could have just played around it. Wait, no, I'm always losing, right? Because I'm always just getting swords flustered. So maybe it doesn't matter. I just have no counterplay. I thought, yeah, if they have fluster, I can't ever beat it unless I draw my own fluster. Okay, maybe I'm mad for no reason. Maybe I'm just mad for no reason. Yeah, I guess I don't have actual counterplay around Swords Fluster. Yeah, only if I drew Fluster. Right. I still shouldn't have made the play that I made. Maybe I am supposed to, just so I can get a cantrip on their turn. They chose not to shuffle. I could hit their other 2 cards, but that could be helping them. I'm just gonna do this. If I can... I was about to say, if I can flip this thing in the ice by drawing cantrip, bouncing the Ethereal Forger and hitting the Narset would have probably been good enough, but that's so bad. Why is there a Commandeer in my deck? Slasher baited me so bad with this Commandeer. This could have been a Consider. This could have been a Consider. It would have been actively good for us. Wait, what was the first spell they returned? I thought they returned a Fluster. Maybe it was a Ponder? Now I'm just going to be like resetting their Forger for them. If I ever flipped, which I'm just not going to ever flip. All right, whatever. I don't think I played this game wrong. I just got outdrawn, right? Lotus Narset. Swords Fluster. I didn't even get Pyroblasted in this game, so I can't even complain about that. No shot. Melody is actually not good versus them because they have Forgers, not Arcanists. I still don't think I should have a Commandeer in my deck. Oh, they're not on Blue Moon. So maybe Waste is still fine versus them. All right, try again. Yep, it's a great hand. It's actually a really good hand. Double fetch, consider, misstep, force, regent. It's exactly what we're trying to do with our deck. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think I'm gonna pin it. I don't think there's gonna be a turn where I have like a good opportunity to play an Narset. All right, so I have a regent next turn. How can you say verse the field when it's less than your other one? Am I really going to be able to beat my opponent just holding up double fetch, though? Am I just supposed to wait on this regent? How much better does it get than right now? Force, misstep, fluster. All right, I have a 7/7 for 2 mana. What do you got for me? Swords? Misstep? Pyro? Fluster? Fluster? Now I'm the fluster. Narset? Just let that happen, right? Pyroblast found off of Narset. But I have strip, dig. I think I'm supposed to hit. Hold on. Ooh, up to 9. 2-turn clock. Let's just dig first. Fluster is our best draw, probably. Oh, this got forced. Okay, so we know that they have 3 cards, including a Pyroblast. They have an active Narset. We have a 2-turn clock. I should just attack them and hope they don't hit a land or a counter spell. No red source. Wasteland. All right, maybe I should keep the wastelands in. Murktide region is so good. I did keep the wastelands in. Okay, I just want to take this days out on the draw and bring another force back in. Okay, okay, game three. That was a great game. Sure. Well, now they know about my misdirection. It's quite unfortunate. I don't think I can let them brainstorm here. No follow-up? Maybe I could have let them brainstorm. Lock themselves. I feel like my Murktide is just going to get swords or blasted, so it doesn't really make sense for me to play Murktide. I don't want to gush because I'm close to Sanctuary. I don't really know what my play is, though. Maybe I'm just supposed to Murktide anyways. That's like a 4-4. Feels kind of silly. I think it's silly. I might end step address down. Or main phase address down. Do I still have thing in the ices? I do still have thing in the ices. Alright, we'll end step address down. Okay. It's time. I think we just want to play a bunch of spells, right? Start by gushing. Then we can go thing in the ice Murktide. Even though the Murktide will only be a 3/3. Maybe I don't play Murktide. Maybe I just play thing. Blasted. I think that's fine. That's like a best outcome instead of swords. Now I can go get an ancestral or a dig. Murktide won't have counters, correct? Ancestral, probably. Oh, I have to pitch a card here? I can just pitch another Dress Down. I don't need this Dress Down. My opponent's just stuck on mana. Though, maybe if I hadn't countered Brainstorm, they would have been even more stuck. Hard to say. Alright, they found their next land here. They know about Misdirection and Ancestral, but they don't know about Force and Scalding Tarn. That's a good draw. It's a really, really good draw. I don't think there's any reason for me to cast anything on this turn, though. Upkeep Ancestral looks the best. Then I can't get dazed, I can't get flustered. Yeah, I don't think I think I'm supposed to wait more. I also have Scalding Tarn for Mystic Sanctuary for Gusher Ancestral. It's got Forced. Sure, that's fine. Oh, I'm still gonna fight it back for profit. Like, that's still going to happen. As long as I'm casting it on their turn and not getting it negated. Like, I'm just gonna buy it back, right? Like, there's like I 2-for-1 them. They have 5 cards left. I think I come out really far ahead. Their own Gush. It's quite good, isn't it? All right, maybe I don't come out far ahead. Wow. I guess I lose. Maybe I can race it with a Murktide. Maybe I can race it with a Murktide. I can maybe race it with a Murktide. That seems actually pretty reasonable. That's a really good draw here, right? Okay, we have a plan. We have a plan. I have a 2-turn clock. I can put another Ancestral or Gush on the top of my library. I can also, yeah. I mean, I shouldn't take any damage this turn. Expressive Iteration. I can't Flusterstorm this, right? They just pay. Okay. I mean, I could Flusterstorm it. I don't think that's good, though. Maybe it is. Give them 2 cards. I kind of want to have, like, Misdirection so I can misdirect swords. They shouldn't be able to attack this turn. I might need to find Time Walk, though. So is my best card Ancestral, or is it Gush? It's gotta be Ancestral, right? I guess a dress down. I could still play a dress down and fluster, right? Dress down's pretty good on their upkeep. I don't think this game is going to go long enough that I need Gush. I guess if I hit Cruise, no, that's not enough. They drew Misstep. Holy shit. Oh, that's a reason to go Gush. Yep. So I just go Fluster. Because Fluster doesn't do anything next turn. Where Misstep and Misdirection still should. Maybe Fluster. Maybe I'm supposed to Misstep back. No, I should Misstep back in case they have Negation. Do I pay a life? Can I pay a life? Can I pay a blue? I mean, when we have Misstep to cover Misstep, I still think Ancestral's probably better. How close are we to lethal here? Not very close. Should I just be playing a second one anyways, though? I don't think so, right? Because I want to hold open Fluster Misdirection. What's the likelihood I die? They have 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 4, 10, plus 4, 11. So 3 spells kill me. But if I play a Murktide, I can block. Maybe I just lost the game because I tapped this island. Did I lose the game because I tapped an island, so I couldn't play Murktide plus Fluster? that would be on brand. Well, the problem is, oh, I could just wait, right? So if I just hold my Regent back, and then I play a Murktide for 5 spells. 1, 2, 3. I would have to cast. Yeah. Maybe that's the play. Maybe that's the play. 5 spells. Okay. I'm going to go with that. I think that's the best line. Because even if they counter Regent, it's fine. And it makes me very unlikely to die here. I think this is the best line. Draws top bottom on Scry, less fetch land. They know about Misdirection. I don't believe they know about any of the other cards in my hand. What a cool game, though. This game has been very interesting. That's the nice part about this deck is we've had some really cool matches of Magic the Gathering today. Scroll. I can misdirect a Pyro. Well, kind of depends on how you... yeah, I can misdirect a Pyro. I can misdirect a Swords. Is there any reason to counter Scroll? Yes, so I don't die to Monk tokens. I guess I could still just die to Monk tokens here. Maybe I was supposed to scour first to make it more copies. Imagine I still just die to Monk tokens on 4 spells. Be pretty sad. I think the biggest mistake was I could have had 2 blockers by playing... No, that wouldn't have worked, right? Because it wouldn't have been big enough. Okay, it looks like we're getting this to resolve. Okay, so 3 cards in hand. They need 2 spells still. 2 Pyroblasts does it. Pyroblast Fluster, Pyroblast Force. Ooh, we're going to combat. Oh, looks like I'm dead. Well, maybe they're just making the best attack to get them to lethal. Let's hope that's the case. Oh, we went to damage. We went to damage. I do need to cast a spell. They have Bolt. Oh, they have Pyroblast. Now, am I going to get dazed? No, they would have killed me. They had lethal with Pyroblast daze. So if I just didn't cast Thought Scour? Why did I cast Thought Scour? I didn't need to cast Thought Scour there. I guess this still would have happened, right? Because I still would have had to cast... No, this wouldn't have... Yeah, so I still would have gotten my Regent... I would have gotten my Regent trapped anyways. Because I had to play an instant. What a fucking nightmare. So I don't get my Scour, and I lose my search to my Regent. Okay, well, top deck, Time Walk, I guess? I don't know. Or Dress Down. Technically, if they have no more spells, I don't die. No, but it turns off Prowess, and I'm at 6. I can hit Cruise. Can't hit Gush. So did I lose this game because I brought back Ancestral instead of Gush? Maybe. Maybe. So what is the likelihood they don't have a spell? Feels like pretty low. So I should probably be trying. Well, the problem with probing is that even though I draw dress down, I still die. But probing lets me draw into cantrips. Okay, let's just try to find our cantrips. I think hoping they don't have a spell is not a valuable strategy. I mean, they probably don't have a spell, but hoping they don't draw spells, like, kind of dumb. Yeah, they had a Scalding Tarn, and I drew a Hydroblast, and I lose. I guess I was always losing this here. It's unfortunate. Well, I set up a lethal, but... So I guess if I had played this and I had used... Oh, let's see. If they drew no spell here, then I guess I fucked up again. Because I don't have enough mana to play Time Walk. I feel like I significantly hamper my outs. Alright, we weren't getting anywhere. I feel like if I probably played this match better, we probably win. I guess if my ancestral wasn't misstepped, they would have just ended up misstepping Pirate Blast or I don't know. I feel like I probably played suboptimally and lost the game because of it, is my assumption. All right, here we are, chat. Final round, finish challenge with our mono blue brew. Had a pretty exciting round last match. Found a couple of spots where maybe we could have made some different decisions. Here we're up against Sing Pan Man, who has been trying out some really cool decks recently. I believe this is going to be Dark Petition Storm, except they cut the Dark Petitions and they're playing Urza Saga. So it's Storm. Saga Storm. Call it Saga Storm. It is nice to have a negation against said Saga Storm, but the follow-up threats are not very appealing. So I'm going to try to probably just mulligan this. Ah, yes. That is a hand of Magic the Gathering cards. I can't wait to cut this Commandeer from my deck. Cannot wait to cut this Commandeer from my deck. All right, 5. Okay, this 5 is actually much better. I think I'm just going to go Gush. What am I going to do? Wow, this is interesting. Because Wasteland does hit Saga, but we shouldn't have to deal with Saga because we have Dress Down and Ice. So I'm thinking we get rid of Wasteland and we get rid of Gush. And we keep our counter magic and our combo and just try to draw into a land. I think that seems reasonable. All right. I think I want access to Force against DPS on turn 1, but could be a reason. Could be maybe just keep Wasteland so I have 2 mana. Oh my fucking god! Is a Doomsday? Or do they play Street Wraith in their deck? No, it's Doomsday. I think I might just pitch this thing in the ice. Is that crazy? It's almost 7 a.m. for me. Maybe I just pitch Daze. Am I just getting countered here? What's happening? Okay. I had the illusion of choice, I guess. It would be a fitting end to the stream to lose to Doomsday again, though. It's super on brand. They know about both Dress Down and Daze, so they should just play around Daze the whole time and then build a pile with 2 Oracles to beat Dress Down. Well, it could have been worse. It could have been Doomsday with Force Backup. Like, Necropotence is the worst thing they can Dark Ritual. Let me fetch now. So I don't get, like, Opposition Agented. I guess I can still get Opposition Agented because they have Dark Ritual up, but... Okay, maybe they'll just never draw a card that matters because Necropotence is not Doomsday. Kind of got punished a little here for not keeping Thing in the Ice, but didn't seem like it was going to be good. They have 7 cards in their hand. Like, how bad could it be? Okay, okay. They wanted to get to 4 lands to play around Daze. This puts them to 2, and they can only activate Necropotence once. Feel like they just make a pile with 3 forces. If I counter this, there's the world where they just don't have another Doomsday, right? So I could, like, negate this, keep open Dress Down and Daze, and then if they had, like, Flusterstorm back up, I could Daze this. I think it's better to, like, try to make it so they can't find a Doomsday than to try to fight after a Doomsday here. Maybe that's incorrect with this stuff. Oh, okay, so they had a force and a misstep, and they're at 4, and they're going to go to 2. They have 1. Okay, well, I mean, I don't have anything anymore, so now do your worst. They did see me pitch a Dress Down, though, so now they might not play around second Dress Down. Could happen. Could happen. Could happen. Could happen. Let me just mute system sounds for a second. Okay, we're back. All right, so my opponent finished a Doomsday. I could map this out, but honestly, I don't really feel like it. Okay. How many oracles, I guess? There are 2 oracles in their pile. Ancestral. I guess I should have done it again, but they just have too many turns to try. So I can't do it the same way I did last time. Gush down to 0. Gush down to 0, but they never draw out. So I'm just going to get forced and lose, I guess. I guess I could draw into a different counter spell. Maybe I should have. That doesn't really help me, though. So the problem with the Dress Down Now play compared to the last time we played against Doomsday is the Necropotence, which skips my opponent's draw step. So if I play a Dress Down, they just don't have to play any of their oracles, and they can wait forever. I guess I should see if they have 4 forces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, they have no forces. Okay, I'm just gonna let you draw all your cards. Yes, okay, you're not getting dazed. They have hard cast negation. They have dispute. Okay, I mean, I don't really see a way I can really play around this. I got so hyped because I thought we were playing against Storm, but it just ended up being more Doomsday. All right, so we have Flusters, Chalice, and Surgical is what we brought in before. And we took out all of our Thing in the Ice is what we took out. I still think that's good. Could bring in Borrower as a flash flyer, but I'm not a huge fan unless they bring in Leyline of the Void versus me. As I said, I feel like if I've ever played a deck that should be good against Doomsday, it should be this deck. But I'm obviously got a mental block for it, so there's also that doesn't help. Well, it could just be that. It could just be nothing's actually good against Doomsday. True. True. I think we're supposed to bring in this Brazen Borrower in case they bring in Leyline. What happens if we gain control of Doomsday? Do we get to build their pile for them? Do we win the game? Is that how that works? Anyone know? Any Commandeer experts in chat? We gain control. There are no new targets to choose. If we gain control of the spell, do we choose the how it result? Like the stuff inside? I don't really remember. I do get to stack their deck? That sounds fun. Or do I stack my deck? I guess they both work out well for us. I need to cut a card here. Gush. Snap, submit. All right, here we go on the play. Doomsday. What do I got? That might be a couple more delve spells than we wanted in our opener hand, huh? Yeah, unfortunately, this is not the keeper. A little bit too many delve spells here. This one looks fine, though. I think I'm just going to get rid of one of the wastelands. Okay, chat. So, am I supposed to Ancestral in their upkeep? Or do I just die? Fuck, there's no way I'm not supposed to Ancestral with my upkeep here, in their upkeep. Alright, well, now I'm dead if they kill me on turn 1. You get to look at my shame with this Cataxian Probe. It's okay. I was told that Doomsday only wins on turn 1 5% of the time. That's what I was told. So there's no way that we can get killed on turn 1 for the 7th time in 3 weeks. That would be a statistical anomaly of the highest degree. Well, I think the good news is that I don't think we're dead on turn 1. I think that's the good news. The bad news is they did still resolve Doomsday. So we have some options if we do, in fact, get another turn, which we should, because there's no reason to tank over this because they could Taxian Probe my hand. Unless they were just making sure their pile killed me. You know, that could always be true. Okay, I see. Come on. Okay, we're safe. We're safe. We're safe. Whew. But now we can't beat this. Can I draw? I want to draw Force. I want to draw Lotus. I want to draw Force. Okay, so is the best place still to wasteland them? I guess we need to look at their pile. Guess I have to play Magic. It's kind of the worst. Okay. Give me a Doomsday list. Time to play Magic Online. Half of my videos recently have just been me spending like 10 minutes figuring out my opponent's deck after Doomsdays. Oracles. Wow, they have a Hull Breacher and an Opposition Agent. 2 Oracles. Forces. 1 force, 2 force, 3 force, 4 force, no forces, no negations. Bluster Storms. One Flusterstorm. They have a Pact of Negation? Okay. Ancestral still, it looks like. That's 4. Do they have Fetchland C? C. Grave. Looks like they have Fetchland C. Or maybe they just have multiple C's. 2 C's? 1C, 2C, 2Cs. They probably boarded out Vamp. Gosh, dig. What about Moxen? Sapphire, Jet. All right, how many fetches? I need to see 8 fetches, I assume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 fluster, 2 fluster, 3 fluster. Yeah. What am I missing here? I'm missing 2 cards. Doomsday, 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 Ritual, Ritual, Ritual. Oh, they have another Ritual? No, Ritual's down here. Gush is here. I don't know. So I assume my opponent is going to cast Ancestral Recall and draw their entire selection of cards, in which case they will have 2 Oracles and a Fluster. We force the first Oracle. They fluster it. There's 1 in the graveyard. Oh, what about the Dispute? They have Mystical Dispute. I think we lose. I don't think we can beat Fluster, Dispute, Oracle with any of our sequences. Wastelanding them gives them 4 mana. We would have Force Fluster. Not wastelanding them gives us 5 mana. We would have Force Dress Down. So the Dispute is an issue because it counters Dress Down, where Fluster wouldn't counter Dress Down. If this Consider was a Thought Scour, we probably win the game. We just cast Thought Scour right now. Or like after they draw or something. Yeah. That could buy us a turn. If they don't have Dispute in their hand already, casting an end step Dress Down could buy us a turn. Seems like it's worth a shot. Yeah, no, that actually sounds really good. Chat lethal. That's what I need. I just need the chat buff in the 2 and 3 bracket. Yeah, chat is much better than me, so. Wait, they just lose, right? If they cast Ancestral. Now they have no cards in their library. What? Why would you cast Ancestral? You can't cast Ancestral. I forgot about Necro. But if I force Necro, you fluster and I double waste and you lose. No, we're still good here. We have double waste. They fluster back, and then we untap and double waste. Oh my god, they have days? That's what I didn't check for. We still win with one waste, though, right? No, they have 2 C's in their pile. I don't know. I feel like I got outplayed horribly here. I feel like I got outplayed really badly here. But we don't win on the next turn, though, so maybe we'll be fine. What if I just go Wasteland Murktide Regent? Because Flusterstorm doesn't do anything anymore, right? It's only a 5/5 Murktide Regent? Oh no. But then we'll just strip mine them and we'll be fine. Singpan Man is pretty good at I don't know if I would have come up with the correct pile to beat my hand. My hand was really weird. I can't believe we might just get there because of the double Wasteland. Wow. What the fuck happened? I just did not count dazes. I feel like my opponent could have taken a different line though. Like my opponent didn't have to Ancestral. They could have just chose not to Ancestral, right? And just played a bunch of lands because they had 2 more Underground Seas. They just didn't have to crack their Lotus. I think my opponent misplayed that. Like, their pile was big-brained and pretty crazy. But I think they could have just waited the dress down out and probably won. Kind of a cool ending. It's not very often we figure out what's in their remaining 8 cards and then actually have something happen that was reasonable. Normally we just die. Normally it's the illusion that you can fight back. Unfortunately, my opponent actually does have a Watery Grave, so the Surgical Extract Underground Sea plan is a little worse. Oh, here it is, chat. Here it is. Oh my god, can I commandeer a Necro, please? Do we wait? Do we wait for the... We gotta wait here, right? For the Ancestral. I feel like waiting it makes sense here. Well, I wouldn't have kept the hand if it was a Consider Slasher. I would have mulliganed to a better hand. I don't think we can win the game if we commandeer a Doomsday on turn 1. I don't think we can win the game in the requisite number of turns. Yes, I'm pretty sure we would lose. Do it for content? Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, my opponent's got 9 cards. I don't feel like figuring it out, so... I'm just gonna wasteland them. I think I have to commandeer the Lotus. I have to commandeer this Lotus. Um, does it work? I'm glad it. Oh, we beat Doomsday, chat. We beat Doomsday. All right. I'm glad this happened because this made it worth it. This made it worth it. That was nice. That was nice. Okay, well, what did we learn, chat? What did we learn? Let's switch over to this is what we played. We have some changes we want to make. We are still cutting this commandeer. We boarded it out in every other thing ever. I don't think the commandeer is good. And we want to fix up the sideboard a little. So we had this. This is our new setup here. We cut the commandeer for the 4th consider. No, it was better than Force of Negation because we got a Lotus, and then our Lotus could cast Dress Down, I guess. I wanted to put a True Name in the board to maybe help with the fair matchups, and I wanted to put a Dismember so that we actually had a way to kill something. We don't really have ways to kill things. We just kind of deal with them for a little bit. So I got rid of the second Null Rod and I got rid of the second Steel Sabotage. There's like a lot of upside to playing a bunch of 1-ofs in your sideboard when your deck is this full of cantrips, allowing you to, be selective and find your targets makes a lot of sense. Though we are getting to the point where maybe we need to play a Snapcaster Mage. Not the best card with Dress Down. We'll have to see. We'll have to think about it a little bit. So yeah, the commandeer was cool in that screenshot, but overall, I think it was the card we boarded out the most. It's got to be only really good against, I don't know, Doomsday. I am struggling to think of other situations where it's very good. So yeah, I think it makes sense to cut that. It was fun. It was cool. There were much of times where we were really looking to cast more cantrips, so going up on cantrips makes sense. I actually think consider over Preordain and Ponder worked out pretty well. I think being able to play everything at instant speed is pretty powerful, and we played against multiple Narsets today, which made Thought Scour and Consider quite good. Any thoughts on playing Lotus Petal? You could play Lotus Petal. I'm not sure, like, 1-use mana is exactly really what this deck wants is the issue. Maybe it's good enough with Regent. I could see it worth testing, but it's just one restricted card, so it doesn't change too much. Maybe you could play a Petal instead of a Consider. Definitely worth considering, Jimmo, but I don't have an answer for you, so... I actually think that this deck is totally playable. Of the dumb decks that I've created recently, this feels like one of the better ones. We didn't get to play against any shops, and I did cut a bunch of shops hate, but I still feel that multiple fetch, like tons of fetch lands and basic islands is usually quite good in combination with like Murktide Regent against shops. So, and we have, 6 forces for spheres and things. So I think it could be a playable matchup. And if that's the case, then The only things that I think seem to be super bad are Pyroblast matchups and and like bizarre matchups, and it might be that you're supposed to just ignore the dredge matchups and cut most of your dredge hate and play cards to help you win the other matchups, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. I'm going to probably play this deck some more. I had a lot of fun. I played it suboptimally for most of the night, I think. I do think like a better player might have top 8'd this event. I totally think that the match versus Jeskai was winnable. The match versus the first Doomsday player was winnable. I don't think this Jeskai match was winnable. But I do think that these other two matches were totally winnable. So yeah, I like it. I think it's a cool brew, cool idea. Definitely maybe not a 3 a.m. deck for me. That's true. Maybe we'll try it on a Saturday challenge next week. But I don't know. I just think that my thought process for this ended up working out pretty well. So I'm going to try it again more in the future. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's now 7 a.m. I am going to go watch Worlds, I believe. Still at 120 viewers. Thank you. If you're new here, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow if you are in chat right now. Those are all free things. Well, some of those things are free. Those are all things that help support the channel, and I really appreciate if you do that. And I hope to see you on the next stream.